Hey guys, Chad Trades here. In this video, I want to go over the one simple day trading strategy I use almost every time I take a trade. In fact, I've literally used the same strategy, same confirmations for, like I said, every trade I took this week. So anyways, let's go and dive into the computer. I'll show you some of my trade recaps and what this strategy is. So hopefully you guys can get some free value and education out of this video. All right, so like I said, I want to go over that one simple strategy I use to make a living day trading. And basically what that strategy is using a combination of levels, support, resistance, supply and demand, combined with the 200-day moving averages. Now, I'm sure you guys have used moving averages or used levels in the past, but I want to give you some pro tips that I never really heard anyone talk about. And once I started understanding how to use them better, I started winning a lot more trades. So anyways, what this pro tip is, you know, it's kind of common sense, but again, it's something you don't really think about when you're trading, right? So what this pro tip is the market must be respecting the moving average for me to take trades off it. So if I want to use the 200-day moving average as a confirmation, let's say, right, I must see the market respecting that moving average for me to actually take a trade off it, right, based on the time frame I'm actually looking at. And then there's one other thing I look at, and we'll talk about that in a second. So for example, let's go to the trade I took yesterday on Wednesday. As you can see, if I go, I made around $3,400 yesterday. And let's go into the chart, right? So I'm going to pull up Thinkorswim, and this was Wednesday, yesterday. So let's go ahead and zoom in here. As we can see, there's two main levels, right? So there's this resistance level, basically supply zone from this aggressive sell-off from Tuesday, and obviously our support level that got held up pretty much overnight during after hours. Now, as we can see, I'm on the 5-minute time frame right now, right? So if I actually zoom out, we can see that this blue line is my 200-day moving average for the 5-minute time frame. And what you'll see here is, going back to this pro tip, the market has been respecting this moving average, right? The 5-minute time frame moving average, right? If we go back here, we can see this is kind of acting as support. Once we broke through down here, right, we almost came up to it, kind of acted as resistance. We had a massive sell-off. And then as you can see, once we broke it overnight on this Wednesday, now it was acting as support once again, and we're kind of trading above it, which means the trend is up. I want to focus on going long. I want to look for setups to go long since we're above that moving average and the market seems to be respecting it, right? So as we can see, when the market opened at around 7:30 my time, we were up right here. And again, I wanted to go long. I wanted to look for setups to go long because we were above this moving average, but I don't want to chase a trade, right? I want to make sure I get a good deal, right? So when the market opened at 7:30 my time, I pretty much wrote on my plan, I want to wait for a pullback, not only to a support area, right, which could be down here, but it also could be in this area where we had support. So sometimes when you are establishing support levels, you want to look for other things that give you a confirmation that that level will act as support. And again, one of the ways you can do that is using VWAP or using a moving average. So as we can see, this area right here, where basically we had, you know, kind of support during pre-market, if we just draw a straight box, right, till the end of the day, we can see that this level lined up perfectly with our 5-minute moving average. And we also know that the market, you know, was respecting it over the past few days, right? So this is kind of the thing I was waiting for even when the market opened, right? Market opened right here. Again, I told myself I wanted to wait for a pullback to a support level that also had some other confirmations in it. In this case, it was this moving average and a little bit of this VWAP. So that's kind of what I was watching. Now, if we go back to, you know, this strategy, you know, kind of what I add to this is I also want to look for other confirmations. Well, what are some of the other confirmations I actually look for to enter the trade? Well, usually, you know, we want to see some reversal candles. I want to see maybe it's a double bottom pattern, double top pattern. I also want to make sure, you know, it goes along with the trend. You know, maybe it's also near VWAP, right? That can be a confirmation. So I want to see at least, you know, 2 or 3 other confirmations along with, you know, kind of what I am talking about here with the moving average and levels. So if we go back to the chart, right, we can kind of zoom in here and kind of just see, right, once we pulled back here to the support, to this moving average, now I'm basically looking for those other confirmations, right? So obviously when we initially pulled back, I missed this move. So I was thinking about getting in here, but again, I just didn't have enough confirmation. So once we actually moved up, this is where I was like, okay, if we pull back here again, what this is going to do is it's going to create a double bottom pattern, right? So sometimes in trading, you kind of have to think a couple moves ahead of the market, right? You can't just react in real time and take trades off that. It's kind of like a game of chess, right? You have to think a few moves ahead. And that's kind of what I was doing. I was like, okay, what could the market do to give me those other confirmations? Well, obviously, once we got up here, the old me would have been, like, oh, I should have got in. I would have fear of missing out. And maybe I, would just chase the trade because I think it's going to go up way up here. And then all of a sudden we pull back like crazy and now I get stopped out. So obviously that's what you don't want to do. But when we're up here, I was like, okay, if we pull back, not only will we still be at our support level, we still will be at the moving average, but it's also going to create another confirmation for me, which would be this double bottom pattern, right? And as you can see, that's exactly what we did. We pulled on back here, and now I saw some nice 5-minute reversal candles. I saw 2 different candles. So as soon as this candle closed right here, I actually entered the trade, and I basically rode this thing up over to our resistance area, ended up making around 10 points on this trade. All right, so that's the first example from the trade I took yesterday. Now, if we go to the trade I took this morning today, as you can see, I used a little bit less size just because we didn't pull back as much as I wanted to, but I still end up making around $1,500. So let's go ahead and go over that. Again, I basically used the same exact strategy, but this pro tip really came in handy on the trade I took today, right? Going back to this, market must be respecting the moving average for me to take trades off it. Okay, so if we go back here, as you can see yesterday, we ended up going to this resistance area and then we pulled on back. We got here again, we pulled on back. And what you'll see now, if I zoom in here, right, what you'll see is the 5-minute moving average. Like yesterday, the market was respecting this 5-minute moving average, no problem, right? Every time we pulled back here, price seemed to bounce off. Where today, during pre-market, before the market even opened, right, this whole area, we kind of cut through it, we went up it, we went down it, we cut up it again, right? It was very choppy. So basically what this means is the market was not respecting this moving average. So when I went into today to make my plan, I didn't care about the 5-minute moving average because again, the market wasn't really respecting it. So what I did was I simply just went into a different time frame. I went into a 10-minute time frame. And now as you can see, the moving average is going to be different on the 10-minute time frame. And now I want to see, okay, is the market respecting the 10-minute time frame moving average? As we can see, it was acting as resistance here, acted as support here, and we didn't really pull back to it until earlier this morning. This is at like 3 a.m. So obviously I was sleeping then. And as you can see, we pretty much bounced off it and had a big rally up back to this resistance area. So when I saw that, when I was making my pre-market plan, I'm like, okay, the market is actually respecting this 10-minute moving average. Let me go ahead and see if I can spot a level off of that. And basically what I saw, if I zoom into today, right, we can see I got this level from pre-market. So this is at 3 in the morning, basically drew the support area. Obviously none of this happened yet. This is before the market opened. Basically I got to my computer at around 7 a.m. my time. So we're basically trading right here and we're just bouncing off this moving average once again. And it also lined up with the support area we got from pre-market. So now as you can see, now this support area that I drew also had a confirmation, which was this 10-minute moving average, which the market was respecting. And by the way, guys, I posted this support area in my Discord before the market opened today. If you guys want to join it, it's completely free and open to the public. So as you can see, before the market opened, I wrote my levels for the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. I do this every single day in here. This is basically what the market looked like before the market opened. Once again, if you guys want to join our Discord community, it's completely free and open to the public. Like I said, I post my levels in here every single day, and we also have a community where you can ask questions and network with other traders. So if you guys would like to join us in here, we'd love to have you. Like I said, it's completely free to join. All you have to do is go to the first link in the description below. So anyways, let's go ahead and go back into the trade today, right? So going back to basically what my strategy is looking for a level. We found that support level. And we also saw that that support level lined up with one of the moving averages, which was, in this case, it was on the 10-minute time frame. Market seemed to be respecting it. Now I'm looking for other confirmations, right? What are some other confirmations I can use to actually, justify entering this trade? So if we go into this, as we can see, when we pulled on back here, right, I just got to my computer around 6:50, 7 a.m., and essentially we were at this level, we were at the moving average, we saw some 5-minute reversal candles, and we also had a clear double bottom pattern, right? So now what I can do is I want to go into the 1 minute time frame. And if we go into where the market opened, like I said, I got to my computer at around 7 and I saw where we bounced off that level. So basically right here where I kind of got to my computer, I started making my plan around 7 o'clock my time, 30 minutes before the market opened. This is where I was like, okay, I just missed out on an A+ setup. We saw some 5-minute reversal candles. We had a level, we had a moving average there, right? So we had multiple confirmations. We had the double bottom pattern on the 5-minute time frame and the 10-minute time frame. So now I was like, okay, now I want to wait for a pullback to potentially enter this trade because I think we're going to get back up to this resistance level once again. So that's kind of what I did. As you can see, we pulled back a little bit. I wanted to get at least into our zone again. So I kept on waiting. And as you can see, literally on this candle, once this candle closed, this is where I entered half my position, right? So again, I was waiting for us to fully test, this low around 278 to enter my full position. But like I said, I didn't want to miss the entire trade in case we didn't pull back. So after this candle closed, basically I entered half of my position. And from there, we just started ripping up, right? Literally before the market opened, as you can see, we ripped up all the way back to this resistance and we got all the way up to 293 3 minutes before the market opened. This is at 7:27. And I literally took off the trade from there because, just in case the market opened and we end up dumping back down, I wanted to, secure my profits. And that is how I was able to make around $1,500 this morning. Like I said, it would have been closer to $3,000. But I only added half of my position just because I didn't want to miss the trade and I wanted us to wait to pull back a little bit more, but obviously we never got there. So anyways, guys, that is my strategy. The main thing here, the lesson I kind of want you to take away from this specific video is when you're using moving averages or EMA indicators, make sure the market actually respects it to take trades off it or to use it as a confirmation, because a lot of times people will be like, oh, we're at the moving average, right? Does that moving average even matter if the market isn't respecting it, right? So make sure it's actually respecting it for you to use it as a confirmation. And obviously, all the other stuff I always talk about, make sure we're in a level, make sure you have some other confirmations to take the trade, make sure there's a good risk to reward ratio, and pretty much everything is lined up all at once. So anyways, guys, that is the strategy I follow pretty much 80-90% of the time when it comes to actually day trading. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys have any questions around this, let me know in the comments below. And like I said before, if you guys want to join our Discord community where I post my levels in here every single day on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ market, like I said before, we'd love to have you inside our community. All you have to do is go to the first link in the description below to join us, or just head over to this link right here. That being said, guys, as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And with that being said, I will see you in my next video with another day trading lesson.